Hey peoples, Karina here, coming to you with this video. As you see, the title is Bolo. Yeah, I don't want to chitty chatty too long on this because I'd like to make at least one more video. I want to say 1 to 2 more videos, but just know that this is not the only video that I'm uploading tonight. That's all you gotta know. Because sometimes I'll say I'm gonna make one video, pop out 2. Sometimes I say I'm gonna make 2, I'll pop out 3. Sometimes I say I'm gonna make 3, pop out 2, whatever. But anywho, this is something like, I'm always trying to sit and think about certain things. It's like, if you don't want to repeat certain stuff in your life, it's like taking self-inventory and being real with yourself. Like, it's not like nobody is pointing a finger at you. It's just you being real with yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's urgent for me to make 2 videos today, so that way if anybody watches them today and they can sit and let it process, then maybe it might help you through something else. I mean, sometimes people went through certain things on YouTube that they have no videos about, okay? Why? Because people were too embarrassed to talk about it, just to speak on it, whatever. And I'm noticing that some people, when they did speak on it on videos, they got in these teary-eyed, I don't want to say it, teary-eyed pity party videos. That's not what I bring to you. Any experience that I'm speaking on now or will speak on in the future, I'm going to tell you what I learned from it. Not just going to tell you what I've been through. I'm going to tell you what I learned from it. Because if you tell somebody about what you've been through without saying what you learned from it, then it's coming from a whole different standpoint, okay? Because obviously certain things happen so we can learn lessons. One lesson that, like, I've learned by watching other people do this, and I get to see it, it's like, wow. Never, ever, ever, because I've seen this up close and personal, okay? Like in church, I've seen this on YouTube, I've seen this on a lot of platforms, okay? Where people would speak on something passionately. So passionately that you would think that they've actually been through it, right? But when they actually cut that camera off, they're silently hurting. Because some people, it's like they want to give encouraging messages. They want to share this and that. It's like, how can you encourage someone else in an area where you are feeling empty? That's one thing I don't ever want to do. If I'm not feeling something because I haven't been through it and I don't have nothing to say about it, I'm not going to speak on it. I will say this. In doing something like that, like speaking on something passionately that you've never experienced before, if you don't really know the emotional side to it, it's best not to speak on it, because what you're doing is you're drawing that experience into your life to where now you're going to be tested and see, hey, what did you tell the people on your platform, on your page, on your this, on your that, whatever you do, whatever type of social media you do. What did you tell the people to do about that? You do it. Now, I can't sit there and tell a person how to get out of an abusive relationship if I ain't never been in one. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell somebody like how to grieve from losing a close relative, really close, if I haven't been through that. And I mean, when I say close, I mean like a sibling. I can't tell you what that feel like. I cannot express to you what that feels like, because I don't know. It's like we have different people in our lives that have been through different things, and each person is special in certain ways. You have some friends that have literally been through what you've been through, so y'all can bond on that level, and you can glean from what they went through and be like, okay, well, I could take this nugget and that nugget and apply it to my life. Now, if you don't know what it's like to be in a home full of people and feel alone, you can't tell nobody what that feels like. If you've never had to be isolated by yourself, or God told you, stop fucking jumping in and out of relationships. I'm giving you some things to work on with you so that you can have what you asking for at the right time. And you be like, nah, fuck that. And then you get friends around you that be like, you need to go out and live your life and stuff like that. So if I go out and live my life and just start dating around knowing that my heart ain't in it, I've been there before. And that's usually the time that your twin flame want to show back up. So it's like, nope, one of y'all at some point got to stop running. At some point, or the cycle never stops, okay? Learn your lesson, sit the fuck still, you know, and wait on instructions. And that was my thing. It's like everybody has a unique gift to give to the world. Now, we all have some, well, not we all. I mean, a lot of us have certain gifts in us. I mean, and a lot of us have different talents. It's like everything that I like to do is not necessarily my purpose. You know, at one point, a long time ago, I wanted to sing. I got to, but it was in church. I had other plans to do other things, and then there's a lot entailed in that, okay? Like, some people get into that, and then they don't find out about certain things soon enough, and then you're like, nah, what did I get myself into? That's when you get these singers and rappers hollering about help done sold my soul. Be like, nah. It starts off real small. It's a lot of shit that entails. But anyway, yeah. And you got some people who can do it without doing that, but it's just going to take a lot more work. I mean, everybody that's spiritual is not meant to do the exact same thing. Like, one person in a spiritual community might be to teach people. Another person might be a comforter. Like, they might be like that person you can go to, just, you know, they're a good listener, they're a good, you know, motivational person to talk to, and they talk to you out of things that they've done dealt with before. You got some people who read tarot. You got some people who do candle work. You got different people doing different things, okay? And the thing is, sometimes your gift, your biggest gift, will be all the fuck shit you went through and came out of. That way you can tell it to somebody and help them. Because how are people gonna find answers to stuff that they're ashamed to talk about if don't nobody make videos about it? Okay? So I like incorporating a little bit of this, a little bit of that into my videos and stuff like that. I like reading tarot, but what I love is sharing my experiences and my stories with people, just in case if they have an idea, like, you know, maybe somebody's secretly going through certain things and they can't tell nobody, but you might come across one of my videos and it might be exactly what you needed to hear the time you needed to hear it. So instead of people getting on YouTube making pity party videos, do a video about something that you've gotten over in your life that you can help somebody else with. Or even if you hadn't got over certain things, but you found some good coping mechanisms, talk about that. You know, everybody that, you know, what's good for one person is not always good for another person. What's a walk in the park to you, it might be a nightmare to me, and vice versa. What's a walk in the park for me might be a nightmare to you. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you camera shy, and I'm not. Maybe you like talking to people face to face, and I don't. Well, actually, I do like talking to people face to face. I mean, I was doing that before all this shit was happening. Anyway, yeah, I'm like that in your face type of person. Like, but just to some degree, there's certain things that I don't engage in. At one point, I used to be very, very, very antisocial, and the people that I tell that to do not believe that. They be like, hell no, girl, you lying. Like, nah, I was antisocial like motherfucker. First, I used to be really social, right? But then I noticed the reason that I kept always getting hurt by people is because I was too fucking needy for attention always. It's like, no matter how the person treated me, a lot of times I would overlook it. And you can't overlook how people treat you. You have to take notice of that shit. And you have to call people on their shit. But sometimes, like when I first started doing that, that friend circle was big and then it got small. Because you had people that thought they was going to try it with you because you was being nice and sweet and whatever like that. And then you start putting your foot down. They go, ooh, you too sensitive. No, I promise you. Some people that would say that will be way more sensitive than you. But because you never told them your triggers, you ain't going to find it. You know what I'm saying? When people misuse other folks emotionally because they know that maybe that person wanted to have friends, a lot of times people will have friends that don't mean them no good, just, you know, and that person that don't mean them no good will be willfully slapping them in their face with disrespect, not caring about nothing about them. You know, they don't care how you doing. They just want to do shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just to keep it. Yeah, I mean, I had a group of people around me at one time that, you know, when I decided to put my foot down and say, well, I don't like when you do this. This makes me feel this type of way. A lot of them gone, okay? Sometimes when you put your foot down and say what you're not going to take, you're going to find yourself losing a lot of friends, okay? I mean, when you see, it's like you have a right to say what you do and don't want to accept in your life. You have that option. Believe me, you have that option. And sometimes folks will be like, oh, you just too picky about what you will and won't allow. Let people be people. Yeah, people can be people. But when your people and get a little bit too much for me, I'm going to need you to go over there, okay? Because a lot of times different people's personalities don't mix. You know what I'm saying? I would always be around some folks that'll say, well, I got this, and that. What do you have? Common sense? How did you get said thing that you have? Now you got somebody that won't stop calling your phone, stalking your ass. Because you got a sugar daddy. Whatever. Using the shit as an example. But that's some people's reality. So, sometimes you'll have folks that will try to encourage you about, oh, I wish I could be in your predicament and, you know, do this, and that. Like, no, you don't, because you don't know what that entails. Sometimes folks will be like, oh, I got 6 kids and they all driving me crazy. Do you know you complaining to somebody who wanted to have like a shit ton, but God had other plans? If I would have ran out here after the first time getting pregnant just to be like everybody else, because I guess that was what was popping at the time, that folks made it. A lot of times, a lot of women will look at women who don't have a bunch of kids and go, oh, you're not valid. And I've actually heard a man say that if a woman has less than 2 children, she's nothing and deserves to die. And I think that was the most horrible fucking thing I've ever heard a man say about a woman. And I was like, wow, what the fuck? What the fuck? Are you serious? I've heard all kinds of things because I didn't have like a whole lot of tiny children. But you know what my response to that was? I see how you complain about having said 5 or 6 kids. Do you think I wanted those troubles? I learned from one. Some people learn after the second one. It's like certain things a person can go through at one time and they'll fucking learn. And other times, they don't learn the first time. They have to keep doing it over and over and over and over and over again until they learn the lesson. But by the time they learn the lesson, they damn near crazy. Oh, but when income tax time come around, that's when it's, oh, my sweet babies, my loves. Now you want to be like your kids or your loves. How does that work? Kids are not meal tickets. Sad to say, a lot of females do this shit on purpose because they want meal tickets. Now, if you're a single mother because your spouse died, or you took responsibility and said, hey, I had these babies and I'm taking care of each one. These are my children and I love them. Now, I could accept that response from somebody better than I could, like, ooh, such and such get on my nerves. I mean, I literally heard a woman at the bus stop one day like, I think somebody wouldn't let her sit down or whatever, and then she was cussing and fussing, and then before she got over there, she was walking and she had the baby on her hip, cussing somebody out on the phone, and then she goes like, I'm just looking. I mean, shit. I know I don't look my age, but I'm just staring at this woman. And she goes, y'all don't understand what it's like. I got a baby. And I said, I had a baby too, 20 years ago. I know what it's like to have to put shit back to get some diapers. Yes, I know what that's like. Okay, and besides, if you didn't have a crazy baby daddy that actually didn't try to take your kid and run away, bitch, shut the fuck up. Some people don't get to have a life absent from a crazy baby daddy. So some women that's hollering about they baby daddy left them, you got the support of your family, right? You going to work, you working 2 jobs, you taking care of your baby, that's good. You and your baby taken care of. So why you mad about the daddy not being there? You didn't mention nothing about it being for the baby. You missed that nigga. You the one got pregnant on purpose and you thought that was gonna keep him. Now you're looking stupid. Cause you sitting there rocking the baby and he ain't nowhere to be. He done gone on somewhere, okay? So don't think for 1 second that one child or multiples is going to keep a man. Because it's not. I mean, that shit it's ridiculous. So, people out here playing the victim because they got a baby, stop. Stop. There's women out here that cannot even have kids and would kill to be in your position. And you being ungrateful. And I always used to say that it's always the undeserving that have everything. And they still don't recognize shit they have. They'll have it and complain about it. Be like, say, or somebody hollering about, my feet hurt. Do you know somebody can't walk? Be fucking grateful. I'm gonna have to move this because it's kind of like annoying the fuck out of my sinuses. I'm put it a little further away. But anyway, what I'm saying is, trying to encourage somebody about something or tell somebody something that you haven't went through, or using your situation as to get sympathy from people, that shit ain't finna fly, okay? Because it's time out for trying to get sympathy for folks right now. It's like, look, single mothers have the most help in this world. You can get shit that single people without kids or tiny kids can get, okay? But that don't mean go out here and do all the shit that you do. But at the same time, y'all got more help than any other person in the population. So stop complaining about certain shit. You know what I'm saying? The way my situation was, I would have gave everything for the baby daddy to just go the fuck away and leave me the fuck alone. I already had 2 jobs and parents that would watch the baby while I go to work. The other bullshit was unnecessary. Would you rather somebody take your child and run off to another motherfucking state to where you don't know, like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Be thankful you ain't never had to go through that. I feel like this. I would be tired as fuck going work my jobs, but when I came home and knew that my son had what he needed, it was fucking worth it. I didn't give a fuck how tired I was. And if you know that it's hard with one, don't go do it again. And again, and again, and again, and again, and again. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, like I say, I've dealt with the backlash before from folks saying, you know, why don't you have any more kids, and spreading rumors saying, oh, you probably can't have kids. Be like, what? So since when being smart about what you, since when did being smart about having multiple pregnancies make you infertile? Since when? Not too many people get pregnant the very first time that they have sex. It can happen, but that didn't even happen for me. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes folks will say, oh, if you know, it's meant to have kids, this and that. You don't know when it's time for you to have kids. But in my heart, I'm like this. When I was pushing for that, when I was younger, saying, oh, I want to do this before I'm 35, that's a done deal. I'm like, look, I'm 39 now. Not to say I will or I won't. But I'm open, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't going to be sitting out here with some random ass baby daddy. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no random ass baby daddy. If I'm not married to the person, because that was one of my prayers a long time ago. If this person ain't my husband, and I'm not supposed to be with this person, don't let me have no kids with them. That doesn't mean because it didn't happen back then don't mean it ain't gonna happen later on. But sometimes certain things that you're supposed to go through in life is the reason where you at. You know what I'm saying? Certain things you have to go through in life to like grow you the fuck up, you know? And some people that have a bigger purpose spiritually, because everybody that has a spiritual purpose ain't got the same spiritual purpose. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Your purpose might cause you to be isolated and not giving your time to tiny children at this moment. Sometimes your purpose might be to help children. And that's why you were allowed to have children during your spiritual walk. Sometimes you're not like a front liner to where your spirit can be more easily damaged. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the bigger the fucking assignment, the harder the fucking attacks they try to come. And a lot of people will try to tell you, don't be sensitive, but if you had to walk a mile in my 7.5s, could you do it? Could you do it? I see somebody go through that shit for like 2 weeks of their life and they swear and be damned they felt like they was gonna die. So going and just marry the second dude you fucked in your whole life, or the fifth dude, whoever, and you know you don't love them, but just for the sake of you being comfortable, because I done been there, I done married somebody too, just for the sake of being comfortable so I wouldn't be alone. That's not something you do. But I'm grateful to know what I want and what I don't want. Had I not known what I want and don't want, I would still be settling for certain things. Now, a person might be like, oh, you still young and fine. You need to go out there and fuck. No, the fuck I don't. No, the fuck I don't. A lot of that be the problem now with a lot of females. They be like, well, I'm pretty, I go get a dude. Okay, well, look, is your inside pretty at this time? You may have some things that you may not can stand about a person, but because you got low self-esteem, you overlook that shit and you go out there and go be with that person. And now you got a crazy baby mama that's fine as fuck. You don't want that. I'm not finna sit up here and go looking around the world for somebody to be with me just for the sake of being alone, or be with somebody that I know the fuck I can't stand while there's another person in my heart. That's something you don't do. I mean, when you love yourself, only you decide what you want to do for your life. If you decide that you can handle that pressure of waking up to somebody that you don't love and you okay with that, let that be your narrative. But as for me and my narrative, that's not my jam. Folks will be like, ooh, what a waste of time. I don't give a fuck. When it's my time, it's my time. And my time is not yet approached because it's not yet time, okay? I finally grasped the concept within these past few months. I decide what I want in my life. I don't care who doesn't like it. If you put down boundaries and say what you don't like, and folks want to talk shit, it's because they wanted to control you in some type of way. Don't get it twisted. The things you have does not make you who you are. It doesn't. Because if you had to really sit and think about it, what do you have? I mean, shit, there was a time that I was working 3 motherfucking jobs. Waitressing, selling on eBay, and then a seasonal job that I was doing around Easter. So I had like pretty nice little bit of change rolling in from those 3 things. But I was so unhappy. Your spiritual authority and your gifts have nothing to do with what you have. So if a person is looking at you like, why you like waitressing? Won't you get a real job, bitch? Do you know if you good at what you do, you make money. You make money. There's a reason I kept staying in that shit for 22 years. Back and forth, back and forth. There is a reason for that. I've worked other jobs, but I always went back to that. There is a reason, and it's not just because it's quick money. I like meeting new people. Different personalities. It helps your people skills. I mean, people who don't have people skills don't like jobs where they deal with people, okay? Granted, everybody's different. Some people don't, you know, I've heard some crazy things being a waitress before. Not lately, but I've heard some crazy things before. I've heard people say, well, like, you're so beautiful. Like, what are you doing, like, working here? You're such a great waiter. Like, you have all these skills, that skills or whatever. Why are you working here? I'm like, You did say you went to places where you got shit service and you'd never go back because the people act like they don't care, right? And you wish that people would hire folks that care, right? And they were like, well, yeah. Because, see, I always remember shit people tell me when they want to come at me with shit. So I told her, I said, for that reason, what you said, that's why I'm here. I actually like people. And if you tell me something that I forgot or didn't do right, I can fucking hear, and I put that shit on autopilot. So I start anticipating the needs of customers to the point they ain't really got to ask me for shit. I watch the body language. I don't run over there and check on them too often because that shit would be annoying as fuck. Because usually if your table's got everything they need, they're not going to fuck with you too much. If they look like they're nearing, if they look like they're looking around for something, then go over there. Or it looks like they're nearing the end of the meal, go over there and remove whatever's empty and then start asking questions if they like this, that, or whatever. Some people can't do that because it's not. And then waiter jobs ain't no 8-hour shifts. You go probably like 4 hours a day, get slammed the fuck busy, serve a lot all day shit. You'll walk out of there with over a bill in 4 hours. Shit, one day it was so goddamn busy, I stayed like 5 hours and made close to 2 bills. Folks was extra generous that day and really not on my nerves because I have quite a few regulars. And I know once all this shit is over, got that and then some other shit in the works. But anyway, the thing is, what you do for a living does not determine your level in the spirit. Your spiritual level of what, how do I want to say it? It doesn't determine your level of spiritual power, what you do for a living. It doesn't. You got some stay-at-home moms that have more spiritual power in they pinky than one motherfucker out here pretending. You know what I'm saying? You can't really go by that. See, a lot of times folks miss their blessings because they too worried about what someone looks like. Folks want to be like, oh, well, if you don't do this job that I do or that job that so-and-so does, then you're not blessed. That's bullshit. I don't need that in my ear. And I don't even need to hear about that being said to nobody else. Because a lot of people don't understand that shit. I had some customers come in there that straight up just, it's just the respect is on autopilot. Folks don't fuck with me about why I don't do this and why I don't do that. Because I had a customer before at a job that I worked at prior to that. She said, Like, I mean, I don't know. This right here, it's like, sometimes I would have customers that would come and eat alone, and sometimes if they were alone, they would just open up and just start talking to me about random stuff. Like, one woman, she was crying one day, and I was like, what's wrong? One of my regulars, I was like, what's wrong? She was like, you know what? And she barely could get it out. She said, I hate my job. I said, the fuck? You make a lot more money than me. How you hate your job? She said, it's not about the money. I notice all the time when I come here, you smiling, laughing, joking, hugging all your regular customers, because yes, a lot of times your regular customers come in there, hug you, give you extra little things, do certain stuff. And then I was working at a place prior to that for 3 years, I had some regular customers that like was pretty fucking generous. Like, I mean, pretty fucking generous, because they saw certain things that I was doing on the side at the time, and they were like so for it, so they felt like, let me invest in that. So I'm like, okay. Like, with me doing the eBay thing and other stuff like that, one lady was like, I'll bring you some stuff to sell. I got a whole bunch of shit. I'm like, how much you gonna charge me for it? She's like, I'll just give it to you. I mean, I didn't see her after a little while, because that was a little bit before that, when is that last flood we had out here that was really fucked up? I want to say Harvey. Yeah, so I hadn't seen her like after that, so it's not like the offer wasn't extended. But anyway, I said all that to say this: don't worry about what people say about you, because of what you choose to do that make you happy. Because it's some people that have jobs that making a lot of money and they miserable as fuck, because what they want to do, they scared somebody gonna talk about them, what they really desire to do. And I just told her, I said, hey, it doesn't matter what the job, what you want to do pays. I mean, if you feel like you not happy where you at, then don't be there. Like, don't be there. She said, like, I ain't never seen a waitress that damn happy to be a waitress. I say, yeah, it's kind of like SpongeBob, okay? It's like, nah. She's like, it's not that. She say, you don't even carry yourself like you at work. You carry yourself like you comfortable in your environment. Like, you say, how you like to say it, like it's your home away from home. And that's how work should feel. Like it's home away from home. Or if you choose to work from home, then hey, do it. But my thing is, I've never been a person that wanted to work from home. Not ever. I like to be out there with people. And there's other things. Just because my life is where it is right now doesn't mean that it's not going to change in the next few months, next year, next 2 or 3 years. Because there's things that I'm like literally doing now that I wouldn't even thought about I would do like 2 years ago. There's stuff that I've really changed my mind about and opened my heart about that I had it totally fucking closed a couple years ago, you know. So here's the thing: if you determine who is blessed and who's not blessed based upon what they have, then it's a psychological issue. It's like somewhere you feel you don't love yourself. Somewhere inside you don't feel whole to the point you have to break other people down or look for something to break them down. Because I mean, I did meet a customer before that had his own law firm, and he said, like, I mean, it threw me off. He was like, so what's your name? I was like, I told him, he was like this really old man. He never smiled. People were afraid to wait on him, actually, because they thought he was mean as fuck. They said all kind of mean shit about this man. And I'm like, he's fucking nice. They were like, why are you the only person he talks to? I say, because I treat him like a person. You can't go by what people look like. This man owned his own fucking law firm and told me this, and I never forgot that shit. After he said, what's your name? I say, Karina. He say, you know, I like to get to know everybody that I interact with, because you might be here today and you might be doing something way bigger tomorrow. He's like, and then I can be like, oh, well, she was my regular server at so-and-so, or she did this and that. He said, I know the people who come and clean my pool. I know the garbage man name. I know the cashiers' names at the stores that I go to. I know the mailman name. I like to get to know everybody I interact with, so that way, you know, what if something happened one day in life and I could need them? He say, you see, I'm old. I might need somebody to take care of me one day. And because if I be nasty to people, I could get put in a home where I get mistreated. I say, damn, that's one smart ass man. To have all those things and still don't be prideful, and you don't look down on nobody. Those are the type of people that you need to listen to. Because to me, I feel like if you mistreat somebody because of what you think they are, Missy up in there walking hard as shit with little claws in the carpet. I could hear it just. And it's still raining a little bit. That's why she don't want to go outside. But anyway, in wrapping this video up, don't disrespect people because of their race, color, their bank size, whether they have a bank account, don't have a bank account, look really beautiful or not so beautiful. Don't think that you know what's inside of a person based upon what you're looking at. You might get surprised and find out that that person is rich in another area of their life that you don't possess, that you know makes you extremely bitchy. You know, whenever you go around places and you meet people who always want to get smart with you and get an attitude with you and treat you like you're less than a person, they're not happy. If having a whole bunch of money made you happy, oh, it can buy you some things to make you happy, but it can't buy happiness, okay? I mean, you can buy some things to lift your spirits a little bit, make you happy a little bit, but I mean, shit, it's not, you got to be in the right mindset. Because I felt like always stay humble, because once you get this and that, don't you dare act like you forgot how the fuck you was feeling when it wasn't like a lot. So yeah, stay fucking humble. And when you, like I said, when you see people who running out here doing dirty shit to folks, treating them bad or whatever, they got problems on the inside that they looking to release out on somebody on the outside. So anyway, without making this video an hour long, I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Bye.